Good evening, everybody. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Charlie, fix this one the wrong side. Swap us.
Oh, sorry,
I
mate.
feel really uncomfortable.
Sorry. It's been a while.
OCD.
There we go.
It has been a while. How are you, Charlie?
I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. It's been 2 weeks since
It
my
has
last
been 2 weeks.
confession.
Yeah.
Last time I was on.
The Father Fry have sinned.
Absolutely. You're not in an Airbnb. You're not in a Premier Inn. Where are you?
No, I'm renovating my house at the moment, so I have moved to the in-laws. So I'm in one of their many bedrooms.
Do you know, it'd have been great if you'd have went to your in-laws and you just started putting up your slabs on the back wall and they're like, what, Charlie, what are you doing?
Do you know what? I did think about this. I was like, can I do that? And I was like, no, I can't really just start taking a piss like that.
Get out. Can I just say, Charlie, just before we begin this week's show and we have a look at the chat, last week's show with Dan Panosian was absolutely...
As if by magic, look.
It's almost as if we planned it. We actually didn't, because we don't talk. It was awesome, mate. It was superb. I know how difficult it is to do a show on your lonesome, and unfortunately myself and Tom couldn't make last week, but you absolutely knocked it at the park. There was total vibes of fanboyism, and that was just on Dan's side with you. It was a beautiful thing.
Thanks, mate. No, it was a really, like, it'd been like a year or so in the making, like talking since like Alice Ever After came out and stuff, and it was great. He's like a proper down to earth guy. He was like really like forthcoming with the questions from the chat and everything like that. So yeah, it was an interesting interview. If anyone in the chat hasn't seen it yet, head over. AWA are all over it as well. They've put it on their website. They put it in their newsletter. They put it on their Instagram. So yeah, it was really fun times we had. I'm not sure if that was just from my side.
Yeah. Our new best friends. I'm just going to say that because they have put it all over socials. They've been absolutely superb. So big up to AWA.
But yeah, no, it was. Thanks for that, mate. Yeah, it was great. It was really, really great. And there's some things in the pipeline as well, which is interesting that we'll be able to share down the line in 2023. But how are you doing, mate? It's been a while.
Mate, it has been a while. Glad to be back. It was one of those things. It's like absence makes the heart grow fonder. Is that what they say? I've been buzzing to do the show, and hopefully in the coming weeks we'll be able to get the three of us back on. It's been few and far between this year, but hopefully we'll be able to get everything sorted and get the three of us on. But we've got a fantastic show lined up for tonight, and we're reviewing Blue Book, which I'm really looking forward to finding out what your thoughts are.
Yeah, definitely. Before we do get into that, the chat is buzzing. We've got Mr. Chris Bell. The sweet smell of freedom, unbound by the chains of banishment. My wife put me in. I'm back, baby. I added that bit because we know the relationship that he has. We've got Evening Poptimist, and it's your birthday. Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday.
We've got Ed Vick in the house. We've got Yuko Demands Treats. Yes, he does, or she.
That's an awesome name.
That is, isn't it? Who else have we got? We've got, let's have a look. Leon Russell, YouTube Heisenberg, Evening Killers. We've got Phil's Treehouse, all the way from across the pond. I was all off balance there. You did, because you spelled balance with 2 L's. Indeed. Bat Dan Dixon, Evening Sir. Stream Elements is always running in the background. ABZ Comics, Evening Gents, all missed a couple of weeks. Looking forward to this show. Go into a corner and give yourself a slap on the wrist for missing a couple of weeks' show. Do you know what you can do, actually? You can go on to the last week's show and you can post a comment and tell me how good I was.
That's the same corner that I have to go to as well for missing the last 2 weeks' shows.
Yeah, indeed it is. So you can both talk to each other while you're there, and the Blair Witch hunts you from the back. Why not? Connie Dalton, evening, darling. Thank you very much. And another good work, Charlie, interviewing Dan last week. Thank you very much. And we've got a name that we haven't seen in ages.
Oi.
Captain Comics, give some love. Smash that thumbs up pirate button. Thank you very much, Captain Comics. And the one and only Martin Simcox is in. So, should we get down to business?
Let's get down to business.
Have you got any? You've been away for a couple of weeks, so I might as well just sit back for an hour, because you're going to have shitloads of pickups, aren't you?
Are we going to do pickups first, or should we hit the covers and then sneak into mix things up a little bit? You know,
I think we should make them wait. Now that you've kind of put them on their toes, we should probably.
Oh, I've missed this. Do you know, it's, you know, see, when I've been watching the rewinds of the last couple of weeks' shows, and I've had to honestly bite my tongue because I've been dying to say some stuff about the covers. I don't think my covers have had a fair reflection over the last couple of weeks, so it's time for that to change.
I've got to say, your cover that you picked a couple of weeks ago, but to be fair, I think the 3 covers that we picked were absolutely abysmal because there was literally nothing out there.
Listen, it was a real, I think specifically, was it last week or the week before? I can't remember. It was a real tough week. It was you know, clutching at straws. But I think, fairness to say, this week was a much better week.
Yeah. I've already voted for you because I think if we just jump straight into it, business end of the show to begin with. Killer Covers March 1st, which was New Comic Book Day yesterday. For the viewers that don't know what this shindig is about, it's basically myself, Tom and Andy pick 3 covers that we like, and you guys in the chat, anyone can get involved. All you got to do is either just post it on your Instagram or send us a message on Instagram and let us know your comments, and we'll post it in the show. We just picked the 3 best covers that we think tickle our fancy, or whatever it is, and we show them to you, and then the winner wins absolutely nothing. So
absolutely
nothing. This
first
is my
up,
vote.
listen, Don, rest your weary head. It's another Jenny Frisson cover, but come on, you must admit this one is a bit of a stunner. This is Harley Quinn issue number 27 from DC Comics. It's going to be in that lovely cardstock cover as well, so you know that it's going to be quality. It feels like a broken record in a minute that I say about the eyes that Jenny Frisson does. And I must admit, over the last little while, especially with the Poison Ivy covers, it's been a little bit, dare I say it, samey filler covers, if you will. But as soon as I saw this one in FOC, I knew I had to get it. I had to pick it up and I had to choose it. I think this is one of the best Harley Quinn covers that I've seen in a long while. And there's been a lot of Harley Quinn covers, not just the eyes. I think she's absolutely nailed the hair as well. And the pose is absolutely superb. So much so that I've pre-ordered this in a 9.8. I think this will display absolutely fantastic in a CGC.
Is this available on Slabbed?
It is.
Crusaders?
Yes.
Take my money.
Listen, guys, big shout out to Slab Crusaders, local to myself. I think he's not too far away from where I live. His business has grown and grown and grown to pre-order. Guaranteed, I'll repeat what I just said there, guaranteed 9.8 CGC slabs, and they range from roughly about 38 quid upwards. I know that Chris Bell has bought quite a lot and pre-ordered them. I think I've got 3 on pre-order with them, and I haven't been disappointed. The service is absolutely top-notch. So just a little shout-out. We don't normally shout out people that we don't physically use ourselves, and this isn't sponsored or anything like that. This is just me recommending those guys. Go check out slabcrusaders.com, I believe the website name is, and they're also on Facebook to get your CGCs pre-ordered.
Do you know what I think we should do, Andy? Because like as you said, their business is growing pretty rapidly. So maybe we put like a couple of slides together next week, or get one of the guys on to talk about how they come up with the concept and how it works, and as like a business venture, what they had to kind of put forward to be able to supply the 9.8. You know what I mean? Because it is quite a tall order.
Absolutely, mate, 100%. I think it's James, his name is, that runs it. And I think it's a one-man show as far as I'm aware. But again, like we could easily just, you know, put a link up onto his website for guys to go pre-order the 9.8 once we've shown off our covers, if everybody likes it. So, yeah, good idea.
I absolutely like anything Harley Quinn touches or is on or anything. I'm going to go for. So I'm a sucker for this. Like I'm already all over this. I've already got the raw cover of this, but yeah, the 9.8 does sound tempting. It's a bit mixed bags, to be fair. Like Poptimista says she looks a bit like Pete Burns. Chris Bell said it's just another Frisson cover. She does have great eyes, though. I'll give you that. Hair ain't up to much, though. And then Martin,
I feel so attacked.
I must be coming down with an illness.
Thanks very much. Thanks.
I must be coming down with an illness because I don't like that Jenny cover. I'll get me coat.
Martin Simcox, come on.
And then, James is smashing it. So, obviously, James from Slabbed Crusaders. So, I think next week we'll get a couple of slides on and then we'll just like venture into it and we'll reach out to James and see if he wants to come on for like 15, 20 minutes and talk about the whole business venture. But, this is a winner chicken dinner for me. Like, I absolutely love this.
I do, and I get what the chat's saying. Like, I think almost like Jenny Frison covers have became a little bit like who am I thinking of? Like I'm trying to think of an artist who has loads and loads of covers, and
Yeah.
everybody kind of snoozies on them now. But I think if you look back to the Vampirella covers that Jenny Frison done, like back in the start of her career,
Yeah.
like they're just absolutely superb, and I feel as if maybe she's been overworked a little bit,
Yeah.
and that's why the quality is maybe not staying where it is. But like this, I don't think there's any denying that this is will become an iconic cover for Harley Quinn, I think.
Yeah, I think it will. Captain Comics has said, looks like Uma Thurman from My Ex-Girlfriend is a superhero. It does a tad bit. It does. So that was yours, and then Tom has gone for Spider-Gwen, Shadow Clones issue number 1, Ivan Teo variant B. I quite like this.
I really like it. It's what Ivan Teo does, isn't it? I think Ivan Teo, whenever he does a superhero that's wearing a mask, I think that's when his levels really increase. I think whenever he does, and you see the face, I think the faces can be quite samey almost. And there's no like you know it's an Ivan Teo face, if that makes sense. But I think this is beautiful. I think this is specifically the variant B. So this is the Virgin cover. Again, it's another one that will present beautifully. But you remember he's done the Miles Morales cover. I showed the 9.8 not so long ago. This is one of those things where you're going to have to pick them all up, and it's just going to display superbly as a group.
Like the Alex Ross all in a line like this. I mean, because he had a fair few of these on display at Thought Bubble last year.
He did.
And they were going. They weren't going for silly money, but they was for. I mean, he was charging for the signatures, which kind of got everyone's back up anyway. And he was signing it Thought Bubble 2022.
Yeah.
And to be fair, if I wanted to get a signature, I wouldn't want it. And I'm going to get it on a nice piece like this. I wouldn't want him to sign it Thought Bubble 2022.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Like, I didn't get the opportunity to speak to Ivan when he was at Thought Bubble, but I would imagine, like, if you asked him not to do that, he would do it. But the whole signing, paying to sign, I think, is the way things are going to go. Specifically, as you get creators from overseas coming over, because they have to get paid at some point in some way, so to recoup the cost of flying them over. But going back to this cover, like, Tom's absolutely knocked it out of the park again. Tom's raised his game with regards to the covers. I think he's been like secretly looking 3 weeks in advance and picking out the absolute gems.
Yeah, I think so. I think it has to be. It's a great cover though. It is a very, very good cover.
Beautiful.
So yeah, Ivan Tao variant B, and then I've gone for friend of the Killer Comic Show, Mr. John Jiang, Cosmic Ghost Rider issue number 1, John Jiang variant B. Variant A had the Marvel logo, and I think this is the Virgin variant. For me, some people might say John Jiang's work is very samey, but the level of detail in this, the way that he gets it, like a 3D. Like the old school blue and red glasses for 3D. This is amazing.
This is for me, and I'm happy to be proven wrong. This is the best John Jiang cover I've seen, probably ever. As soon as I saw this, I absolutely loved it. There's a 1 in 100 Stegman variant of this that I put up in my IG, my top 5 covers, but this in particular is absolutely beautiful. And I think what makes this pop is the green background, and just above the head. I think that really makes this stand out. The perspective is fantastic. The color work is absolutely superb. And to boot, John is just a really nice guy as well, and really active on social media whenever we post up and tag him. So big up to John Jiang.
But I kind of went for this as well because I got Mars Attacks vibes from this.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mars Attacks is one of my favorite films, and I was kind of like, it's just amazing. Like the color work in this, like I can't even begin to think how long something like this was take.
Can you imagine getting this signed a luminous green, like one of those luminous green paint pens? Honestly, like we have to tag John and see if we can sort out maybe getting a giveaway for the show, and get him to maybe sign some stuff for us. That would be amazing. This is a tough week this week. And I'm going to be honest, Charlie. I think yours maybe edge it this week. I like this cover so much.
I'm due one, aren't I? I've got to be due one.
It's been a while.
So you got this one, Cosmic Ghost Rider issue #1, which is mine. You've got Tom's, which is Ivan Teo, and then you've got Andy's, which is like the Uber Thurman. My girlfriend's an ex-superhero, Harley Quinn. The only thing for me is that this looks great. It's gone cardstock. Paper on this is going to be shit, and the paper on this is going to be shit.
It may well be that this is. Does it change if it's a store exclusive, like, or is it still the same crap Marvel paper? Because I think this is a store exclusive.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, because I asked Tom this question a couple of months ago. I said, when he buys the store exclusives from the J. Scott Campbell website, is it still the same paper? And he said he's got stuff that he's bought from Galactic Comics, and he's bought stuff from J. Scott Campbell. He said the only difference is that he can
is the
Mylar.
Yeah.
And it's just annoying because it doesn't give Marvel. They're a $1 billion company. Why wouldn't you just invest in fucking cardstock?
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm sure we'd all be willing to pay for it as well. We pay an extra $1 or whatever it is for the DC cardstock. You'd be more than happy to do it with Marvel.
There we go. Look, Mars Attacks was pretty much one of the first films to go to DVD mainstream. It's wicked. Tommy Lee Jones is awesome in it. Absolutely love that film. So yes, as always, the vote is now live over on YouTube. So place your votes, and the winner will get absolutely nothing. They will get the pride and the pleasure of absolute zilch. So, change to proceedings. Would you like to go to the would you like to do some pickups, Andy? I'm just going to sit quietly against the wall and just watch.
I'll tell you what you should do, Charlie.
We
should check out to see if anybody else has joined in the chat and see if there's any more discussion. What do they think about your wonderful John Jang cover?
We've got a lovely man, goes by the name of Triple Geeky Comics. He's just jumped in. Good evening, Peter, sir. Thank you very much. Now then, on the way back from picks, so we'll catch up in a bit. Just a shout out to Peter. Next Monday on his Art Attack show, he's only gone and roped in Alex Cormack to join us. So everyone's got to up our games. Myself, James, Phil, GP Venom. We've all got to up our game because we're going against a pro now. So
yeah. I was having a bit of back and forth with Alex, saying that I might give him a run for his money, but I'll be completely honest with you, I'm absolutely petrified, and I know that he will, annihilate me when it comes to his artistic skills. So I've decided not to.
Wise decision, mate. Wise decision. Martin has what have we got? We have got Phil is in the chat. We've got the Poptimus says the recent Jiang Spideys are great as well. Yep, they are. I mean, the detail. Right? So last week I spoke to Dan and I said it was because obviously when he does the art and the writing for a comic, I said to him, roughly how long would it take you to do? Like, what's your average working day? He said sometimes he'll start at 9 o'clock in the morning, finish at 4 o'clock in the morning, and he kind of genuinely does 3 or 4 panels or pages a day. And I'm looking at some of this stuff thinking that would take me months, take me absolutely months. But it's just when you've got your head in the game for that long and you've done, I mean, he took 20 years out of comics, and he came back and was like, this is where my head's at, this is where my heart's at, I'm going to get into it. And then when you look at someone like John Jan's work, he probably does that in 2 days. Something like that would take me 2 years.
Yeah, we'll definitely need to get John back and just talk about the process and stuff like that, because I think that'd be a really interesting discussion.
Yeah, and there we go. We've got where can I get one of them Jan covers from? Normally, it's kind of like Unknown Comics, and I mean, I'm getting emails all the time like Unknown Comics, like John Jang exclusives and stuff like that. So if you kind of, I don't really know what the best ones do. Probably head over Instagram, type in John Jang, and he's probably got like one of them little profile things you click on, and it will take you to like where all the store exclusives are.
I tell you what you could do, Leon. I don't know if you use Twitter, but that's normally where I find that a lot of creators are most receptive. If you and tag John, and maybe even tag us as well, say that you saw
he'll get back to you as well.
To get them, he'll definitely come back to you.
Yeah. Martin, going back to Slab Crusaders, Martin got 10 slabs from the Crusaders, top company and excellent service. Good. Martin, Child nails it tonight with that cover choice. Stereo Feels. There we go. And Monday night's show. will be a lot of fun. You've seen my quality art. I do it for the laughs, mate. It's all about being involved. It's all about being involved. And then Leon has just said, it's okay. I've just Googled it. Cosmic Kingdom exclusives. Comic Kingdom exclusives.
Is it only Comic Kingdom that's done it? Is it just one retailer? I wonder. I'm not too sure.
Interesting. And then that CGR Jiang is awesome. To be fair, may need to nab a copy. Go for it. Go for it, and also place the vote so I can win this week. That'd be great.
Should be on commission.
We should be in commission. Like the amount, like seriously.
We've sold like 3 copies of that cover tonight.
Absolutely should be. So anyway, take it away with your sexy pickups.
Okay, so first up, I picked this up on the Hobgoblin Hideaway. I think this was on Whatnot. This is Star Wars Thrawn issue number 1. This is the 1 in 10 animation variant. Now, I'm not too sure if I showed this in the last show that I was on, but I thought I would just show it again because it's so beautiful. Big up to Hobgoblin Hideaway. Make sure that you're obviously going and joining their Facebook group and going on their Whatnot shows as well.
Did you get issue number 2 of that Sprawn? Did you pick it up?
Sprawn. Do you know what? You laugh, but I would love to do a Sprawn comic.
You've already tested that water, mate.
Or something.
Yeah,
I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it. Now this is something that is a little bit different. I picked this up on eBay for like next to nothing, a couple of quid. Bugs Bunny issue number 1.
Oh mate, where'd you find this gold?
There's more. Bugs Bunny number 2. And then my favourite, I would say, is Bugs Bunny number 3. Because
look at that.
This guy.
Love
and in fact, no, I think this goes back to 1991. But they're in really good nick, and I just couldn't resist. I thought the covers were absolutely fantastic. So there's those.
While you're on the talk of them, I've been eyeing up the Animaniacs. Like they were one of my favourite TV shows growing up, the Animaniacs. And Pinky and the Brain and stuff like that. And I've been eyeing up that. But I spoke to Tim a couple of weeks ago. Like one of my favourite films with Gabrielle Bryan in it, Brad Pitt and Kim Basinger was Cool World.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of it? No. It's wicked, right? And it was published years and years ago by DC. They did a comic. And I want to get number 1. And I want to either get the raw copy and get it slabbed, or if I can get it slabbed already, I want to get it. But there's not many out there. So if anyone in the chat or yourself find it, let me know, because I'm going to snap it up, because that's like one of my grails. I kind of want to get that.
Which one is that? Sorry, Cool World?
Cool World.
Cool World. Okay, I'll have a look and see if I can find it for you. Yeah. A little bit of spec play. So this was recently optioned. Hell to Pay issue number 1. So I picked it up just for an absolute spec play. Don't know how it will go, but it's Slimy and Soul, the guy that does Soul does Star Wars writer. So picked that up.
Leon said you should be on commission. If you had 5% of the stuff I buy as a result of watching his show, you'd have a small lottery win.
Here, listen, we'd be able to cover our StreamYard fees and
we would.
everything else.
Chris has said, if you don't say that's all, folks, at the end here, I'm leaving.
Mate, I totally was thinking. See, me and Chris are on the absolute same page. I was going to say that's all, folks, at the end, but you've ruined it.
Sorry.
Speaking of Star Wars, guys, I picked this up from Armageddon's. I think this was on Whatnot as well. Sale. So Armageddon, big shout out to the chief. He works for a place in space. He does all the social media, and he also does Whatnot sales. So make sure that you go and follow Armageddon on Whatnot. I picked up Star Wars Dark Empire 2, issue number 1, issue number 2, 3, and the artwork on these are absolutely stunning. This was a 6-part series, so I managed to pick up all 6 parts of that. The cover. So there's 6 of 6. So Cam Kennedy, who is more well known for his work on 2000 AD, done all the artwork for this, and the artwork alone is worth the price of these. I got Star Wars Empire End, issue number 1 of 2. and issue number 202.
Nice.
I got Star Wars Dark Empire. So I only managed to pick up issue number 1. This again is a 6-issue series, but only managed to get issue number 1.
Oh, nice.
Star Wars heavy. This as you can see. So I get Star Wars Purge: The Tyrant's Fist, issue number 1 and issue number 2.
Nice.
Reasonably difficult in high grade to pick up these books. And then we've got Star Wars Obsession. This was a 5-issue set. I picked up all the covers.
Nice.
Some more Star Wars. As you can see, I'm a little bit obsessed when it comes to the Star Wars covers. I got Star Wars Age of Republic Jango Fett issue number 1.
Nice.
I got the Luke Skywalker, the Anakin Skywalker cover.
Nice.
A little bit of General Grievous.
Yeah.
Doesn't like the General.
So I've just had my pickups delivered.
Good timing. We might have time. We might have time to show yours, Charlie. I don't
That's
know.
all right, man. I hope so.
We've got Darth Maul, Count Dooku, Qui-Gon, and the one and only Obi-Wan, and a little bit of Padme.
Oh, of course.
So, just to change it up a little bit from comics, again, Armageddon normally does some trading card sales.
Yeah.
And I've been getting back into trading cards. That's kind of where my love of all things sort of geek started, was through trading cards. So I picked up some Judge Dredd trading cards.
Wow.
And there's Judge Anderson. Oh, no, that way. Judge Anderson.
Nice.
Now, the main reason why I picked up these, this was a mini set that I picked up. It's just simply because on every card, there's Jock artwork on them.
Nice, of course.
So I've set myself the challenge to try and pick every trading card that has some sort of Jock artwork on it, just obviously because why not? I got a lovely, I think this is a Simone Bianchi card, Kang the Conqueror.
Oh, nice.
So that's one of these, thick cardstock bad boys.
Yeah.
Now, this was limited to 1,490. Don't know if you can see that. Probably can't. 1,499.
Oh, wow.
Got a little bit of Hawkeye as well. Again, Simone Bianchi.
Hawkeye the new.
Hawkeye the new. Hawkeye the new. A little bit of Star Wars shiny action.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Again, here. And this is probably my favourite, so much so that it was sent in a one. They call them a one-touch. So this is Ghost Rider by Simone Bianchi, and this was limited again to 1,499. And these little one-touches are fantastic. So it literally just slides in there, a little magnet at the top, and just keeps the card safe.
They're cool.
I think they do these for comics as well.
Oh, they do. Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. And they sell them at a place in space. They do, because they're like the hybrid between a CGC and a top loader. Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. Now, last but certainly not least, Ed Vick, who is in the chat, who is a stalwart at making sure that he watches pretty much every show. Yeah. We've been doing a little bit of trading comics. Yeah. So this was officially my first trade in comics, and I believe it was his first trade as well. So
love is in the air.
This is what I got.
Wow.
Okay. Star Wars issue number 1, white pages, 9.2, CGC slab. Yeah. Needless to say, I'm very, very happy to have this in the collection. And I believe Ed is happy with what he got in return. It was a fairly sized package that I sent him, and that's not a pun or meant to be funny.
Nice.
But yeah, so we are looking to do another trade quite soon. There's a few sort of Silver Age, Bronze Age comics that I have that would be better suited in Ed's home. So we're going to see if we can do some more trading. But that was all my pickups for the last sort of 2-3 weeks. So thank you for enduring that.
I am jealous, Ed. Yes, I am jealous. I am. I'm very jealous. I'm not talking to you. But yeah, no, you've got some nice stuff. ABC said he picked up Empire's End 1 and 2 yesterday. The Obsession covers are amazing.
Yeah.
And then Martin also said, did you see a Place in Space video with the Batman 1 1940 a customer brought on into the show off? Yeah, that was amazing. Like you could see Tom was physically literally shaking.
That was the chief. That was actually Armageddon that put that up on his Instagram. So yeah, definitely a Place in Space social media has really rocketed and picked up recently. Some of the stuff that they're getting into the shop is absolutely superb. So make sure you go check them out.
Yeah, and he's very, very happy with his package. And you did swap a comic for your big bulging package. Nice. I've witnessed this big package at Thought Bubble, and I have to say, yeah, Edvic should be very happy with it.
So, listen, don't start those rumours, Charles.
And talking of big packages, here's a little one for you. Evening, peeps. Good evening, Sean.
Listen, Sean's been called a lot of things, but never has he been nicknamed the little package.
All good things come in small packages, as I'm sure.
Oh, as does Charlie's internet connection. They come in really small packages as well. That's the thing. You should never tease someone else because something will always come and bite you in the backside. Am I just on my own at the minute? This is really, really awkward. We should be going into what we're going into next. Like I'm going to remove them and then add them back on just to see if that fixes things. Oh no, we don't like that. Let's add them back on the screen because we don't like big-faced Andy. So what have we got next up, guys? What do you think of the pickups? Has anybody else picked up anything recently? If you have, make sure that you send put a picture up on the social and just hashtag the Killer Comic Show. That would probably be the best thing to do. Okay, I think we should. Do you know what's just happened? His internet connection's completely gone, and he's also taken the slides with him. So I can't move on to the next slide. So this is going to be really, really awkward. Somebody ask a question. Ask me anything, guys, in the chat until Charlie comes back, because I have literally nothing else to show, and I've got no filler conversation. So this is really awkward at this point. Come on, ask me a question. Anything? Ask me anything? Martin, listen, that was really perfect timing. I think maybe Sean nibbled on his internet connection. Sounds ruder than I anticipated. And yeah, it was the silent awe of my package that made him. Phil's got a question. Thank goodness Phil always knows to come to the rescue. What is my favourite item on a pizza? I'm going to be quite controversial here, Phil. My favourite item on a pizza is pineapple. I know that can be quite a divisive thing in the world of pizza, but I would say pineapple is definitely my favourite thing on a pizza. Highland G, favourite statue behind me? Good question. I like these questions. This is filling lots of time, which is good for me. My favourite statue is probably, where are we going? This one. A Killing Joke is probably my favourite one out of the lot. That's my most recent one here, the Doctor Doom. But I actually, this is hot off the press. I've pre-ordered a hot toy, so I'm hoping to be part of the Triple G gang. It's the Ahsoka Tano hot toy. I ordered that, and it was dispatched today, which I'm very much looking forward to. Phil has asked, best book you're reading that nobody knows about. Book of Evil, Scott Snyder and Jock. It is only on Comixology at the moment. I think it's just up to the second issue. Third issue is coming out sometime in March. I think it's actually next week or the week after. So Book of Evil is my book, best book of the year, I would say so far, that probably nobody's reading until it comes out on print. Chris, great question. What is my biggest comic regret? Biggest comic regret is not allowing Charlie back into the stream because we keep pressing the same button. Are you back in, Charles?
Oh God, the internet just went down. Like in the in-laws' house, the internet just went down. So I'm literally running off my phone. So,
and the funny thing is, your phone's 4G is better than your in-laws' internet, which is
it really
strange. It really
is. It really?
yeah,
My
it's
camera
absolutely
looks.
fantastic.
Look,
Like
okay, cool.
I hate to kill the buzz, Charlie. And book, you know, we're going to review a book, but I'm just doing a little Q&A at the minute, so I hope you don't mind if we jump on with that. What's the biggest comic regret? My biggest comic regret is FOMO. My biggest comic regret is buying comics because I thought they were going to increase in value, as opposed to just buying a comic to enjoy the content. And that's the reason why I maybe have so many comics at the moment. And I think when you get to a point where you are overwhelmed with your collection, then that becomes detrimental to your collection and to other things like your mental health and everything, because you're just surrounded by stuff. So I would say that's my biggest regret, and it's something that I'm working on alleviating at the moment by allowing lots of my collection to go. And yeah, so if you want to buy any comics, please just, you know, let me know, and I'll be happy to sell them. Have I seen the new Mandalorian? Yes, I have. I watched episode 1. I know that there's been quite a bit of negativity about the Mandalorian, but for me, I just enjoy everything Star Wars. I enjoy the spectacle of it. I don't really look too deep into the acting or the CGI or anything like that. So I really enjoyed episode number 1. You okay there, Charlie? It looks as if you're in the shower.
I'm good.
Shall we move on, or should I continue with my Q&A?
Mate, I can't see what my thing looks like. Is it any good?
It's not great. It's paused at the minute, and we don't have the slides up either.
Literally, I am going to you keep going. I'm just going to try and get back on.
Listen, this has been the highlight of my my Killer Comic Show, is doing this Q&A.
Go for it.
Let me see. Team Kins MF. Are you new to the Killer Comic Show? Nice to have you on board. What's the one book you want but don't own? That's a good question. I should really know that off the top. Oh, look, he's made me big again because he's disappeared. I would say the one. Oh, it's a really good quote. I would love Detective Comics 880, the Jock cover, Scott Snyder run, in a 9.8. I have it in a 9.4, and it's not a huge, like a massively expensive book, but it's one that I would like to get in the collection. So yeah, Detective Comics 880 is probably the one that I'm searching and seeking out at the moment. Favorite between Sean and James. Do you know that's a fine line, to be honest, Sean? I'd say just probably just, I don't know. What do you think? Who's your favorite between Sean and James, Charlie?
Sean.
Sean. Okay.
Yeah.
I like
only the two of them. Only because of what I witnessed James go for it full bubble last year.
That's true. I think they've both got lovely redeeming qualities, and I'm just happy to call both of them my friends.
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Let me see. Martin is saying, saw your something from the children's slabs. Are they up for sale yet? I haven't put them up on eBay or any of the other selling websites yet, but they are very much for sale. So that's issue number 1 to 6, CGC, and I think all but 2 of them are 9.8. And there's a CBCS 9.8 signed by Tynion as well. So yes, they are all for sale, and if anybody is interested, please let me know.
I'm just going to go back to a question from Leon Russell. I had a question with Charlie. What happened to the Last of Us reviews? The Last of Us reviews, it was hard to do on my own. I think with a review show like that, it was hard to bounce off people in the chat without giving away spoilers. So I think with something like that, I think James T. Keegan's got it kind of locked down. Like, he's got a consistent 3 or 4 people that come on every week to do it. I think I was just a bit, if I'm being honest, I think I was just a bit out of my depth trying to do a review show for an hour on me Todd. if I'm being honest, it's a hard thing to do.
I wouldn't be able to do it. I think the thing for I guess for people who don't create content for YouTube. It is a very challenging thing to do, and it takes up a lot of time, and it certainly takes up a lot of our time, I guess. It's the slides and the thought process into these don't make themselves, I guess.
Yeah.
And we kind of have all got to the point where we have almost perfected it to the point where it's certainly not perfect, but from working together, we've all got our own jobs to do, and it all comes together on a Thursday. So, yeah, I think definitely it only really works if there's it only really works 100% if the three of us are on the show.
Yeah.
It certainly needs at least two people to obviously have that discussion. 100%.
But yeah, thanks for the feedback. Like, thank you, I appreciate that. I'm my biggest critic sometimes, and I think if it ain't working for me, then it must just be an absolute shit show for everyone watching. But no, I do appreciate your comments and stuff. So I might at the end of season 1, I might just do a massive blowout and do a big old review. So yeah, and then this show the pots was sit in a car park and chat about all sorts of random stuff, easy for an hour. Why not? Very true.
Whenever I had my channel, I just went live randomly.
Yeah.
So that worked for me. Shall we go ahead and resume our show?
Yes.
As it
so
were?
I've only got 2 pickups. These are from the Whatnot a Place in Space sale not last Friday, the Friday before. I was going head to head with Edvic for this one. It is the amazing, it says it on there, the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 2 first print, the Mike Diodato 1 in 50 variant cover.
Nice.
I literally only picked this up because I got it for I think it was like £4, and it's a 1 in 50 cover, and it is actually quite a good cover, to be fair.
A 1 in 50 cover. That is great. Was that from the Whatnot? Did you say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, that is a deal. That's a steal.
Yeah. So I got that one, and then there was no way I was not getting this. This is DC vs. Vampires issue number 1, first print. This is the Gotham City Sirens homage cover.
Nice.
It was up for 20. I think I got it for 11. I think it was, or 12.
Nice.
Lovely bit of Harley Quinn booty right there.
You do love a bit of Harley, don't you?
Mate, I went through my long boxes the other day, and I've got 17 of them, and I think it's safe to say.
Wait, hold on, stop. You have 17 long boxes?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, that's more than what I have. I don't do the long boxes.
Yeah, but let's go back to how many of them do you think are doubles, mate?
I'm wondering how many's trebles and quadruples and.
Honestly, it's ridiculous. I really do need to sit down and think. Right, I need to sell some comics now, because at least 7 boxes is Harley Quinn. Yeah. Easy.
Listen, you will only get them sold once you start, and the painful process, as I found, was going through and having to take pictures of them all.
Yeah.
But see, once you've done that, it's just a case of if your comics are good enough, I guess. If you've got a good eye, then people will obviously want them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just get them sold. Get them sold.
But they're the only 2 that I picked up. Great deal. And then I got one from the Hobgoblin's Hideaway, which is en route, shall we say. Nice. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, shall we get back to the show? Thank you for everyone in the chat for assisting Andy while I had an internet fuck up. I haven't had one of them in ages.
I'm just glad I took my medication today, because the anxiety levels slightly increased. So thanks to Charlie and his internet for that.
I like to put you ain't been here for a couple of weeks. I thought I'd swing a curveball.
Sweat.
But yeah, so we should probably get back to the slides, which are right here now. Where was we? We was at this stage where we are week number 8 review. So where we kind of had the interview last week, and then the week before last we had the sneak peeks and stuff. We kind of I think we all wanted to read this book, and it's obviously written by James Tynion, art by Michael Avon Oeming, and it's a great book. And there's been a lot of talk about this for the skeptics, if you believe in aliens and the sci-fi and everything like that. It's very much X-Files ish. So I was looking forward to reading it. Dark Horse is Dark Horse co-published with Tiny Onion, which is obviously James Tynion's publishing brand. So yes, you went for this one, Andy. Blue Book issue number 1.
I did. I did indeed. Yeah, I saw this on FOC, and I had it up on my Instagram as one that I definitely wanted to check out. We've got the main cover there by Michael Avon Oeming, who also does the artwork on the main story, and who is, again, another person who's been very receptive. Michael's been retweeting and tweeting back to us on Twitter, which has been fantastic. We've got cover D there, I think it is, Jill Thompson. We've got the fantastic Dave Johnson 1 in 10 variant cover, which is my personal favourite. And we've got Boss Logic, I'm assuming that's Boss Logic 1 in 25 variant cover as well. Just before we do go into the nitty-gritty of this book, it's probably worth saying that we're only reviewing one book this week, Charlie.
Yes.
And I'm interested to see what the chat thinks. Do they think just one book is going to be enough? Obviously, or do they prefer when we do more than one book? We're looking kind of for your feedback, so definitely let us know. Do you want to kick off, Charlie? Or do you want me to kick off? How do you want to do it?
I'm quite happy for you to kick off, because I want to see, like, you read this before me. I only read this today.
Okay.
And I read it twice, but I want to kind of see what you think about it, because it's not just one story in it. There seems to be two stories.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So. And that's something I didn't realise, that there was actually two stories, even though it says it in the synopsis and then, you know, in the previews magazine that there's two stories, but it's something that actually slipped past me. So this is based on a true story. And anything to do with that sort of sci-fi, aliens, X-Files vibe, I'm all in for. So I was really looking forward to reading this book. And obviously it's James Tynion that's doing the writing on it. So I think a lot of people bought in to this book. It follows the story of Betty and Barney Hill, and you find you're sort of diving straight into the story, and they're driving home on a night out, or a night back from a vacation that they've went on, and it sounds as if that Betty and Barney don't normally get to go on vacation, so this was quite a special moment for them. So it's the two of them driving home in the dark, and as they travel through, Betty notices lights in the sky, and as they keep traveling, you get to know a little bit of a backstory about where both the characters work and what the background is. And I think James really nails that by giving that little bit of backstory as the story and the tension is kind of a building up and building up. So as they're traveling and they're getting closer to home, the lights are getting stronger. This shape that they see in the sky is getting closer to them. And soon it kind of becomes clear that something's following them. And you can see here with the pages that we've picked here, the artwork is very distinctive. And I think it was very in keeping with the story and the vibe and that kind of a building up the tension. It was use of whites, blues, and blacks. I specifically picked the page, the first page there on the left-hand side, and specifically that last panel I think is absolutely superb, where she's looking through the binoculars, but because of the way that they've done the light, you can see the reflection of the trees. So it just gave that vibe, which I really, really liked. So with regards to the story, it's everything that you would expect. We've all heard this story before. It's like you're traveling, and it's obviously a true story, so there's not much they can go off course with in this one. For me, the story built up and built up and built up, but it seemed like it kind of didn't go anywhere. It's like it completely ended, and what made it particularly difficult to understand was that it sort of cut at a certain point where the tension had really built up to a level, and then went straight into another story. And I had to sort of go back a page. I was reading it digitally to see if I'd missed something, but it went on to the second story, which was a completely different story, completely different artist as well. I think it was Johnson was doing the artwork for the second story. And then when the second story ended, it cut back to the final panel or the final page, just drawing you back into the first story. And I just felt as if, first of all, foremost, I'd seen this before. There was nothing new, as it were. I think for a first issue, it would be difficult for me to buy the second issue based on the first issue, and I really wanted to really love this and really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think it just didn't go anywhere, which was a bit of a disappointment. I think this book, in all honesty, is going to be a little bit like The Closet, where it's maybe not a book that reads well issue by issue, but when it comes together in a trade paperback and you can sit down and read it from start to finish, then you'll get the whole experience. The one thing I would say, Charlie, before I jump over it yourself, is that if this book's purpose was to intrigue you about the backstory of Betty and Barney Hill, because it is a true story,
yeah,
then it worked, because I went and Googled it, and
I did exactly.
I found out that the reason it's called Blue Book is after the blue. It was like the blue file investigation that the FBI had done on this whole paranormal activity, and I just found myself diving into a bit of a rabbit hole in that and looking into it. And I had to stop myself actually on Wikipedia, finding out about Betty and Barney Hill, because I felt as if the more I read, the more I was going to get spoiled for the other issues. And I just completely stopped. So the highlights for me on this book were definitely, for me, the artwork. It was very in keeping. The colour work was absolutely superb, because it's very hard if you're only using 3 colours to get that tone correct. From a writing perspective, I think that James built it up fantastically well, as he always does, and he gave good background, but it kind of stopped and ended and didn't go anywhere. And I don't know how many people who read this will be prepared to pick up issue number 2 on the back of that. And I think the only reason that they might do it is because it's a James Tynion book.
Yeah.
What do you think, Charlie?
Do you know what I've got to agree to? There's like, I was intrigued in it, and I was kind of like, oh, it's based on true stories. And the first thing I did, as soon as I found out the names, I Googled it and was like, the FBI, Area 51, blah, 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 Betty and Barney. And again, I stopped myself reading too much, because I was like, I want to see how in keeping this comic book retelling is to the actual event that happened. I've got to be honest, I don't think this is the strongest James Tynion issue number 1 that he's done. But we also said that about The Closet, and The Closet was probably one of the most talked about comics that we did on this show. Like, it engaged everything. It's interesting. It is interesting, because I'm massively into conspiracy theories. I love like aliens and everything like that. So I kind of, it did pique my interest. The art for me, I thought, was fantastic. I thought if there was any other artist doing this and the way it would have been done, it wouldn't have been keeping with the way that the story is meant to be told. It's meant to be told eerie. It's meant to be told on someone's own experience. So it's not going to be as clear cut. It's going to be a little bit disjointed. It's going to be a little bit all over the place. But there was elements in this that I kind of directly tied back to The Closet. Like on the panel on the right hand side, the second one down with the alien, that for me just resonated. When you see him looking into the closet, that's the same. It's the same face.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not the same artist. I just didn't like the fact. I didn't think the second story was needed at all. It kind of went off to, for me, it kind of was like, you know, in the old school Bronze Age comics, where you'd be reading it and then there's like 3 or 4 pages of adverts, and then it goes back to the comic. That's exactly what it was like for me. It was like the comic, the first story issued so abruptly. I was like, what's going on? Have I reached the end of the comic? And then I flick through like this black and white 3 or 4 page of adverts with like some fake ass Batfink in the air, and then it goes slap bang back to this comic. I was like, that for me didn't work. Didn't need it. I would rather have just that been filled with 3 or 4 pages of this story.
Yeah, I enjoyed the second story. I thought it was quite a unique story, but again, I think it was kind of based on, you know, very loose true story, as it were. You know, sightings and things like that have been seen. I actually really enjoyed the artwork from the second story as well. I thought it was very in keeping in that sort of time period. It felt like, you know, the posters that you would get for like circuses and things like that. The artwork you would see from that. So I did enjoy that. I would have just preferred another 5 or 6 pages of story of the original story to give a little bit more context and to actually get us to the destination of the journey that James was taking us on. Because I don't feel as if we got there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because now I think what he's done though, as you said, it's engaged the reader to kind of think, well, hold on, the story's ended now. I need to find out more, and then you kind of venture down a rabbit hole and stuff. I don't know if you noticed, but is every single issue going to be a different chapter from the Blue Book of the Unsolved Mysteries and stuff?
I'm not 100% sure. My understanding was that it was going to be a continuation of Betty's story,
Right, okay.
Betty and the Betty and Barney's story. But I
Mm-hmm.
could be I'm not 100% sure, and I don't think that was made very clear.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That can't be the end of that particular story.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has to continue, and I'm assuming, looking at the covers for the other issues, it looks as if it is going to be based on their story.
Yeah.
But what will be interesting for me is if they're going to keep it in line with true life events, or if it's going to be kind of if there's going to be a twist from that James puts on it. That's what will keep me intrigued, to keep me reading.
The panel number 2 here I've picked, it was kind of like a little bit of tongue-in-cheek one, because it reminded me of the Simpsons episode, you know, where Mr. Burns swallows all the toxic and he just comes out. I thought he was just going to come out and go to Barney. Oh. But yeah, I did enjoy it.
That was just a little insight into how your mind works there, Charlie. That was beautiful.
It exactly was. Are you telling me now you're looking at that you don't get that?
No, I listen, when I was too busy wondering where the other 5-6 pages of the story was, because it ended so quickly. I thought I'd been taken up into a spaceship and abducted.
But yeah,
somebody abducted the rest of this story. That's what happened.
Yeah, they need to put it back in the next issue. They need to put it back. So I want to know what happens with Bertie and Barney. But Betty and Barney even. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, and I will be picking up. I will be reading number 2, because I'm invested now. I want to find out what happened to him, and I want to read the comic instead of reading Wikipedia.
It's what happens. Yeah, I'm kind of a torn between it. I'm definitely going to read issue number 2, because I want some closure. And I definitely am standing by the fact that once this goes to trade, it will be a lot better. It'll be a lot more satisfying read, I guess, because it just felt so abrupt and it didn't go anywhere, even though the tension was built perfectly.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, so that's for people in chat. We've obviously done one comic. Let us know if you like the old one comic, or you want us to do 2, or if you've got any other suggestions. We're all up for change. So yeah, let us know. But yeah, I think as first issues go, I wouldn't say it was the strongest James Tynion one, but I'm engaged enough to want to read the rest of them because it's James Tynion.
James Tynion, we trust.
Yes.
I he never fails. And again, we'll read issue number 2, and I'm no doubt that we'll review it and let you guys know what it's like.
Yes. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. How many is it? What is it? 6 or 12 issues? Do you know?
4. I think. Like, I only seen 4 in League of Comic Geeks. I could be completely wrong, but I'd feel it's round about there, because it's like, I think it was on his Substack. It was one of the ones through his Substack. So.
Oh, perfect. All right. So yeah, so that was the comic review done. Now it's time for the killer pick. Oh, it's free.
Is it 3? Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. So the killer picks. So Andy, up first. You've gone for. Oh, I'm glad you picked this, mate. Another Dark Horse.
Yeah. Another Dark Horse comic, another originally on Comixology. This is Clear, issue number 1, written by Scott Snyder, and art is by Francis Manipool. This is available next week, unless it gets changed again. But I think Scott's been doing a lot of social media work to try and push everybody to seek this out. So I'm just going to read the synopsis here. So, in the not too distant future, mankind no longer sees the world as it truly is. The invention of neurological filters has made it so no one can view reality. However, they may choose old Hollywood monochrome, zombie apocalypse, anime. The possibilities are endless. Neo Shamus, Sam Dunes is one of only a handful who chooses to live without a filter. With the death of an old flame reveals foul play, Dunes is set on a wild and twisting mystery that will take him from the city's deadly underworld to the even deadlier heights of wealth and power. I think this sounds great. That it's a really Scott just has such a great imagination. Like
Yeah.
living a life, and you have a filter, and you
Yeah.
can choose whatever filter that you want to put in. Like that's not too. It's not a stretch to imagine
No,
that in real life.
it's kind of like Black Mirror, Black Mirror-ish.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a vibe on that. So yeah, it's definitely going to be one that I'll be picking up, and I would imagine in the next couple of weeks it'll be. Hopefully, if you and Tom
Yeah,
agree, it'll be the one that we review. So
100%.
yeah, that's clear. Issue number one.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I feel like I've seen the main cover done before though. I've got like deja vu really strongly. Like I feel like I've seen that pose of a character doing that with holding of the gun, or like it's kind of like a Ronin type of pose. I don't know.
Right.
It's going to
Okay.
drive me mad because I want to see where that's from. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Yeah,
Definitely. I just Scott Snyder. Like I don't know where it gets the time, but again, this has been out in Comixology. But I
Yeah.
think only people will get to really
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it once it's on print. And Dark Horse are really doing good things.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be bringing out all these books that would otherwise go under the radar.
Yeah.
So fair play.
Well, I was going to say that a lot of the Comixology books seem to be coming out under the Dark Horse banner. Is that? Do you reckon that's kind of like a? Because obviously there's that big talk about Comixology is coming to an end, and it's been like that. Like I think Chip, what is it? Chip Moep,
Mosley,
Mosley, yeah,
Moser.
yeah, it's Chip Mosley's been talking about it. Like it's coming to the end, and there's talks and everything. But Dark Horse seem to have kind of been quite shrewd, as in the fact, well, you know. You want to push these comics out? We can kind of because they did that with We Are Demons as well, didn't they?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
seems to be that Dark Horse pretty much has almost the contract with any Comixology.
Yeah.
I think what it will move to, if Comixology goes, then what we'll find
Yeah.
is it'll be all independent through Substacks for the
Yeah.
various artists.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully what will happen is that they'll work with Dark Horse to be able to bring it to print. So
Yeah. I think Triple G was saying regarding the Blue Book, I thought this was poop. I should have loved it, but it fell flat. Second story was utter shit. Poop. Straight to the point. Absolutely poopalicious. There we go. That's the one. 100%. Pink Lemonade. Pink Lemonade has a similar face as cover A. And Pink Lemonade is a comic that was... It was a standalone comic and it was done as an independent. And when I first started Geeky Guy Comics, I reviewed it on my site. I reviewed it on the Instagram, and I was going through my Geeky Guy Comics drive the other day, and I found the first issue of it, and that's where it's from. So Martin Simcox, thank you very much, mate. I'm going to pull that up and I'm going to do a comparison. But yes, it is Pink Lemonade. Yes. Thank you very much. Great. I knew I weren't going mad. I fucking knew it.
not yet.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This one, 8 Limbs, right? This is by Life Drawn. So this is written by Stephanie Phillips, who has done Grimm, who has done Grimm. She's done Harley Quinn. This, Dan Panosian mentioned this to me last week when we went off air. He said, like, he said he'd watched a show where we loved to do a power bomb, and he said this has got essences of that. He said it doesn't come out until July. He said, but he's a friend of Stephanie Phillips, as Julia Lally and Lee Lowridge. And he said, you guys clearly love to do a powerbomb, so look into this. And basically, the synopsis of it is Joanna, a retired Muay Thai champion, takes in a troubled foster teen and decides to train her until the teen finds herself entangled with a dangerous group of criminals running underground, fights, and Joanna must return to the ring to save her and keep their new family together. After the devastating loss of her Muay Thai championship title, Joanna decided to walk away from the competition, start a family and open her own gym. But her quiet life gets disrupted when an old friend asks her to temporarily foster a troubled teen. Just as Joanna believes she is starting to break through Maria's walls, a misunderstanding drives Mari to run away and join an underground fighting ring. Joanna vows to do anything to get Mari back, even if it means stepping back into the ring. When writing powerhouse Stephanie Phillips, Grimm, Harley Quinn, and star newcomer Julia Lally join forces, it's sure to be a tag team you won't forget. And it's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, BAM, Books A Million, and buyabookshop.org. It seems to be distributed by Simon & Schuster over in the States, but it is available for pre-order at Amazon from July, and it comes out July the 6th. I'm all for this. I'm well for this.
I had never heard of this, so this is the reason why we do this show. to find out these things. Stephanie Phillips also done Nuclear Family as well. Remember
Yes.
Nuclear
Yeah.
Family that
Yeah.
we read
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
This looks great. I'll
Mhm.
definitely be checking it out.
But these are just a few of the preview pages, and it kind of, I think it's like got the first 5 or 6 pages, and it looks great. Like, I'm invested already. I'm kind of
So it's
there.
straight to trade then,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Straight to trade by Life Drawn, and if you go onto the Life Drawn website, they've got loads of stuff I've never heard of, but it's really interesting. I think it's loads of stuff that have kind of been one shots and have gone either straight to trade, or they've literally just gone straight to trade. But yeah, this is why I've picked this, because I thought this would go under the radar. I don't think no one would hear about this.
100%. No, definitely. I'll definitely be checking this out.
There we
Good
go. Look,
pick, my friend.
it's on Forbidden Planet, £10.34. Looks great. Never heard of it. Well, thank you very much. I fancy this my entire book. I've heard an interview with people discussing it earlier on. There we go. Thank you very much. So yeah, so that's the killer picks, and then we've got the killer toy pick. Andy, you picked some absolute bangers on this one, mate.
I did. I think I went for a couple of toys. This is. I must admit, I do enjoy having a good route through all the toys that are coming up. It's not very good for my bank account, but this is DC Direct's Joker Purple Craze by Gilliam March statue. This is going to probably be 115 quid, give or take, depending on where you buy it from. And it's due to be released in July this year. So I believe it's like a collaboration. McFarlane Toys are involved in it, and it's about 8 inches tall. It's known as a 1/10 scale statue, and this is basically Gilliam March's Joker, as it were. And you can tell straight away it's a distinctive pose. I think that was on one of the covers of the books that he done. So it's a poly resin statue, and it comes packaged with the base that you can see at the bottom, which is really cool. And a 4-color closed box. I don't really know what a 4-color closed box is. It's a box that's closed with 4 colors, but who knows? 1/10 scale is going to be probably the same sort of size as the DC black and white statues that I have a couple of them up there. So this might tie in quite nicely. But yeah, this just jumped out at me. I thought this looked absolutely fantastic. Price wise, you're obviously paying a lot less than what you would for a hot toy, but this is a statue. There's no posability or anything like this. This is literally just for display.
Yeah, I actually think Gilliam March was at Thought Bubble. It was either last year or the year before, and I got this cover signed by him. So now the completionist in me is like, well, I have to have this to take a picture just for Instagram with that standing in front of the cover.
Well, what do you know? What the funny you mention that, because I've been looking to try and pair up some nice Star Wars covers with either the action figures, like the Black Series action figures, or a statue if I can find one. So that's kind of where my brain is. I'm going to get some more Detolf shelves and do that whole thing. So
yeah, but yeah, so there's this one. Great pick, mate. Absolutely love that. Oh, I went because I know you love Star Wars. The Star Wars The Mandalorian Hot Toys action figure Axe Woves, price £264, available in shops September 2023. Obviously the Mandalorian started yesterday. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to probably either watch it tonight or wait until it gets to like 2 or 3 episodes in. But this is as a part of the member cries led by the legendary Mandalorian Bo-Katan. Axe Woves fights alongside her and Koshka Reeves in their quest to regain control of Mandalore. It's amazing. Like the sculpture on this looks incredible.
Is there any? Do they have it without the helmet on as well?
Yeah.
Just her, because those guys took the helmet off. They didn't like follow the Mandalore.
Yeah.
Right,
so yeah. No. Let me just have a quick look. It is. So it says that. Yeah. So you can get it. You can get the Bo-Katan one where she doesn't have a helmet on, but this one, the Axe Woves, this comes with. Yeah, it looks like you can't take the helmet off or anything.
Ah, right. Okay, cool. Because so I always find
different hat stands and different hands and stuff, but you can't take the helmet off.
I've got the hot toy Boba Fett, but I always find that if I'm paying that amount of money for a hot toy, that I try and go for something that doesn't have any sort of helmet
Yeah.
on, because you want that face sculpt and you want that lifelike pose and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was saying to the guys just while she were dealing with your internet issues that I've just pre-ordered, and I think I sent you a message as well, Charlie. I
Yeah, you did.
pre-ordered
Yeah.
the Ahsoka Tano hot toy,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
dispatched today. So hopefully I'll be able to show that off in the next week or so. But no,
Yeah.
this is great. I don't know if it'd be one for me. I tend to go for like the sort of main characters, if that's even a thing for Star Wars. And as I say, Ahsoka Tano is only my second hot toy that I've ever bought. But it's one of those things. Once you get one, once you pop, you can't
Well,
stop.
that's it. I'm looking to get that Harley Quinn one that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. That's very much at the top of my list. Once I've renovated my house, I think it's a little celebration. I'll just go woohoo, have some Harley.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
They are a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but it's one of those things.
They won't lose it, I don't think.
No, they definitely retain it. Yes, I went for a sneaky second choice here, Charlie. I hope you don't
Good
mind.
looking fucker, isn't he? Absolutely
honestly,
gorgeous.
Marvel Gallery are via Diamond Select Toys. That's where this bad boy is from. The detail and the quality of these things are absolutely superb. And more importantly, if you're just looking for a display piece of some of your favorite characters, this is a reasonably cheap way to go. So this is the MODOK PVC statue, priced at $75, but you'll probably find it will come in about 50, 60 UK when it comes over. So the leader of AIM has arrived. MODOK, the mental organism designed only for killing, brings his swelled head in the lineup of Marvel Gallery dioramas with this all-new PVC sculpture. It stands approximately 11 inches tall. This deluxe diorama features detailed sculpting and paint applications and comes packaged in a full-colour window box designed by Nelson Asensio and sculpted by Alterton.
It's just it's so ugly.
Mate, I love it. It jumped out at me because I seen Quantumania, and I know there's been a lot of mixed feelings about Quantumania.
I need to watch it this weekend.
My spoiler-free review is I enjoyed some parts of it, but I thought by and large it was a bit of a mess.
I think that's been the general consensus. To be fair,
yeah, it was quite
phase 5.
Mate, it was quite worrying. I could literally talk for days on the movie because it was really worrying. I came out of it going, and it was actually me and James Comic Deal that went to see it together, and I think James quite enjoyed it. And I was kind of like, yeah, I enjoyed parts of it, but the more I thought about it, I thought, wait a minute, like Kang got beat by robotic ants. Oh, spoilers! And you're like, what's going on? But no, back to this. This is fantastic for all those MODOK fans.
Did you ever watch the cartoon series MODOK?
I did, mate. That was the best thing. That was the best.
I enjoyed it, but he's an ugly bastard. I've got to say it.
He really is. I think if a attention-seeking geek Ben watches the rewind, I think he'll appreciate this one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know about. I'm more interested about having a look at Diamond Select Toys than I am at this ugly mug.
Are you talking about me or MODOK?
No comment. So moving swiftly on now, if you guys, I can 99% sure that everyone in the chat has come across digital or read digital at some point. Chapter 4, it is Chapter 4, isn't it? It is Chapter 4 has recently just surpassed their recent target, and they're doing it. So we just kind of wanted to give back to the fantastic guys, Rich and the team at Digital Kickstarter. But Andy, you put this last together, mate, so you can take it away from me, mate.
Yeah, I guess I started them and then I sent them to you and I said, could you make these look pretty, Charlie? So because I could have just like threw them together. But yeah, the Kickstarter for digital issue number 4 is up and running. I'm literally just bringing it up on my computer at the minute just to see where they are because I think they're very, very close to. Could you do that, Charlie, whilst I'm doing this? So we'll find out how much they are to actually get their goal. And I thought it'd be really cool if we could either get them to their goal this evening or at least in by the end of the week, through pushing it on the show. So digital, as I think most people in this chat already know and know Rich and the guys. It's an ongoing sci-fi fantasy story set against the backdrop of an Earth blinded by its dependence on technology and the aftermath of the AI, which catered for its every need, rising up and taking charge. And the weird thing is, with ChatGPT and all these artificial intelligence and the AI art and things like that, it almost feels as if like this is based on a bit of a true story that could actually happen, because it's already happening now. You've got the characters Bear, Aisha, Noose, and Eve are the last free humans in an attempt to evade capture. The escape vessel they boarded inadvertently took them into space, forced to land on an unknown planet, I think that should be, having managed to circumvent an air leak and fix their damaged ship. They have been captured by the planet's inhabitants and now await their fate. Double check your Kickstarter website, because I copied and pasted this from it, Rich, just FYI. You might have spelled planet wrong. I just noticed. So this particular issue is going to be issue number 4, and this explores more about the events that lead to the fall of humanity, as well as continuing the journey of our main protagonists as they continue to deal with being the last hope for the species, but are fundamentally just 4 strangers brought together by happenstance. A bit like us, Charlie, me, you, and Tom, we're brought together by the love of comics. Something like that. So, guys, I can't suggest ever more strongly to go and back this. Even if it's just a couple of quid that you back it, every little helps towards this. We've got 4 fantastic covers. You've got the cover A here, which is absolutely superb. You've got cover B there, and you've got the @ symbol. So go and @ these guys on Instagram and follow them and stuff like that. Tell them that Killer Comics sent you. That second cover also comes in a metal cover as well, which is absolutely superb. Then I think probably the thing that's got a little bit of buzz, it's fair to say, is the homage to Something That's Killing the Children.
Yeah.
This is the cover I want. So, Rich, if you're watching on the Rewind, hook a brother up. Something That's Killing the Humans homage cover. I think this looks absolutely superb. And you can also get it as a black and white variant. All these options are available. There's different sort of levels and different tiers that you can get. Charlie, have you had a chance to see how close they are to reaching their goal?
Yes, and they've surpassed it. So the goal was 3,500. They have done £3,564. They've had 126 backers, and there's still 29 days to go. So guys, absolutely smashing it. If you haven't done so already, just give a contribution. As Andy said, every little helps. So yeah, it's a fantastic comic. It really, really is. We had the privilege of reading issues 1, 2, 3 before anyone, and we kind of was privy to that. Yeah, and it only makes sense, and 100% certain that chapter 4 is going to continue that. It's fantastic to see people doing what they love.
Living the dream. That's a dream, isn't it, Charlie? It's like we would all love to. We all love reading comics, and we'd love to make our own. I know I would. I'd love to make my own comic, and these guys are actually doing it. And it isn't an easy thing to do. And with their support, they're making it happen. And this is the 4th time they've made it happen. So fantastic, well done, and go and support the guys.
Yes, and Rich is a fantastic guy as well. So he's just like us, just loves his comics, loves being a nerd, family man. It's a pastime that's come reality. So yeah, massive kudos to him and the team. So yeah, if you ain't doing that already, I've dropped the link in the chat for the Kickstarter. So head over there. You can kind of just click on that, copy and paste it, head over there, and you can kind of have a look at the different Kickstarter pledge options and stuff like that. But yes, looking forward to this. Then while we're on the subject of bigging up the community, obviously the Hobgoblins Hideaway has the website, has the Facebook group, has the Instagram, has the VOT, and also has the Whatnot shows as well. They're killing it at the moment. Honestly, consistently great stuff that they're putting out, consistently great content, consistently great feedback, communication, you name it, that they've got it. Tim and Lucy, fantastic, they've got it. Everything. I'm not really sure what else I can say on that, mate.
Yeah, no, we do see it all the time. We try and push everybody that we can towards the Facebook group. They had their end of month claim sale, which was a superb success. I think they sold Something's Killing the Children issue number 1, double signed, if I remember correctly, which was one of the bigger books that they sold. They've been absolutely killing it on Whatnot as well. And I think the most important thing is that it's all about community.
Yeah.
These guys won't do you wrong, and we fully support them, and they support us. So, again, it's a little bit like digital. It feels as if we're all in this game together. And we should all sort of support and promote each other, and that goes with all the other YouTube community as well. And everybody's putting on show. Triple G, MG Comics, Jason Parker, Ben, everybody that is putting on shows. Make sure that you're following them and subscribing to them.
Just head over and give them a little tinkle, little thumbs up. It
all
helps. It all helps. So yeah, we're at that. Jesus, this looks pretty empty, doesn't it? So let's head over and have a look. Right. So poll has ended. In last place is Tom with 13% with the Ivan Teo. In second place is Andy with the Jenny Frisson Harley Quinn. And I've won it this week. Yes. In first place with 48% is my John Jiang Cosmic Ghost Rider cover. Bish, bash, bosh. I would like to thank absolutely fucking nobody, because I picked the cover. But no, I absolutely love you. I love every single one of you that voted for it.
I think you'd like to thank John Jiang. That's who you'd like to thank for creating that.
I would like to thank John. Thanks for that. Amazing, mate. I'll get something in the post, yeah. Maybe a little thank you message. But yeah, I mean, it's only a little bit of fun that we do this, but it does get competitive. It does, because earlier and earlier people are sending in their I'm going to go with this one. No, they don't come out until September. Yeah, but I'm going with it. Okay, fine.
But the thing is, though, I've kind of shown my cards a little bit early, because I post up my top 5 on my Instagram there.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of letting everybody go, right, these are my top 5. I'm going to pick at least one of these for the show. And they let me know what you think. So no, it's all good fun. And you've got one up on the board now. It's only 1st of March, Charlie.
I know. It's all kicking off. But the next side is honestly like we're getting some good traction now. Like, we are getting some good traction. We're getting some good feedback from creators, from writers, from artists, from you guys in the chat that have been with us since day dot. There's the hashtags, there's the handles and stuff. You know what to do. Jobs are good. And got myself, got Andy, got Tom. I don't know what Tom's got now. He's got like 27 Instagram accounts. He's got his personal tailoring one. He's got his Not Quite Mint one. He's got his Tom Mailing art one. But we're all busy. And Andy, I've got to say, you're probably the busiest on Instagram. I kind of lost my mojo for Instagram when my account got hacked. And I was just like, do you know what? And I still ain't found it yet. I still need to kind of get back to it and posting it and stuff like that.
No, I get you. I think the thing is that once you kind of disregard the likes and the follows and all that good stuff, and it's more about the comments that you get back on the stuff that you're posting. That's kind of what I would do it for. So if you're not already following us, guys, please go and do so. And everybody that's in the chat as well, everybody has an Instagram, so make sure that you go and follow those guys. Just drop your Instagram in the chat, guys, and everybody will go and find you and start building the community.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, it's been a good show. It's been a good show. I kind of done the internet thing just to add a bit of quirkiness, just to as a bit of payback for you. You've only been here for about 3 or 4 weeks, but
thanks for that. I think I barely survived. I love that Q&A part. That might be a new segment.
Why not?
The Q&A where they can just hit us with questions and we have to ask them.
It should be called Perpetual's Perfect Response. We could call that.
It could be called something, yeah.
Maybe not that. 999. Hello, Perpetual's Perfect Response. How can I help?
That's going to be really easy for Triple G to say.
Yes, exactly. Yes, but yeah, it's been another great show, and I guess we'll be back same time next week. Maybe
we definitely will. I've just got a couple of quick shout outs if that's okay, Charlie. Number one,
no, you can't. No.
Okay, sorry, boss.
Get back in your box.
Get back in my box. My box. So Triple G is doing a late night show on Friday, I believe. I think he has what we call in Scotland as an empty. I think he's on his lonesome in the house. So he wants some company. So I think he's got a few of the guys on his show. and it starts at like 12 in the morning.
11:59.
Sorry,
11:59.
11:59 on Friday.
And he
going
said
into the
that
Saturday morning.
he said he's as like a pledge as Digital do. He said if he can get over £100, he will wear the Borat Mankini. So if we can get him over to £100, I will drop the link on my Instagram, and yeah, we can see if we can get that. So that'd be interesting.
Okay. And if you donate £200, he won't do that. So even more reason to do that. And also a shout out to is it Darren Symposium on
Darren
Instagram
Symposium,
or Facebook. I've been picking up a couple of books that he's been posting up. Again, another member of the community who's on YouTube, and I think he's very close to getting 100 subscribers. So we'll drop his link in the comments and stuff like that. If you can go and give him a wee sub and get him over 100, that would be absolutely fantastic. But that's me. That's all my shout outs. Thank you very much.
Perfecto. Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to A Place in Space, because they've been around for years and they've never really been big on the socials. But now they're really kind of going with it, and they've got some fantastic stuff. They've got some amazing bronze and silver age stuff that they're showing every now and again and whatnot. So yeah, if you're not checking them out, head over. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. But yeah, fantastic Thursday. Enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the comics you're reading, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you same time next week.
See you guys.
Peace out.
Good night. Stay safe. Stay